You know, every trip, every hunt starts with scouting, and this one is no different. We started with the most basic form of scouting there is, and we hit the road just to go find the roost. It's warm weather, it's a full moon. We wanted to start by finding the roost, knowing in the back of our minds that the odds of finding birds consistently feeding in fields was probably slim to none. But more times than not, those ducks and geese will not sit on the roost the entire day. They're gonna hit up some sheet water, they're gonna hit up a loafing pond nearby at some point in the morning or the afternoon coming off that roost before they do go feed, probably at night. And so that's what we did this first day. We found one little patch of sheet water that birds were filtering in and off on. And we also found a pond next to a roost that was probably 20-25 miles away. So we had two spots picked out. We're gonna hunt that pond the first day, save the sheet water for the second day, and hit the ground running on this hunt.
Kill him. Nice shot. Got him!
Three? I know the one I shot at was a
Good boy, bring him here. Kill the drake. Shoot him. Get the geese, there he is. Here. Right here. Hurry up, right
Not a bad day, but not a great day. That fog and no wind made it tough. We would have birds numerous times that were 150, 200 yards out, and you couldn't see them. We were playing the listening game all morning, trying to figure out how far away were they, what direction are they coming from, so that way we could turn and face whatever way we thought they were coming from, because whatever direction that was the approach that they were going to make, they were going to try to work. So you had to constantly be ready. We picked everything up off that muddy mess of a pond and got back on the road to head back to that sheet water that we found the day before in preparation for the following day.
Because yesterday at this time there was what? A couple hundred in there?
We get there, Ryan sets eyes on it, and it's a ghost town. There's not a bird on that piece of sheet water that's out in the middle of this section. Well, there was hundreds the day before. So we go to check the roost thinking maybe they're just not there yet. You know, it's more of a mid-afternoon. They're going to start filtering in and out of there. And there is not a bird on the roost. But there is a truck with two guys loading two boats, just wrapping up a hunt off of that roost pond. And I'm going to go on a little rant here. If you find birds on water that you want to hunt, make sure that it's not a roost, because you might have a good hunt that day, but you're going to blow up the entire area, not only for yourself, but for everybody else that's hunting in and around there. If you're taking away that safety net, that safe zone that those birds have in that area, they're going to leave. They're going to pick up dozens, if not hundreds of miles away if they don't have that one safe spot left in that area to go to. Find the roost, find where they're going. They're not going to sit on water 24/7. They're going to go to a field. They're going to go to sheet water. They're going to go to another pond eventually. Find that spot. Leave them that roost. Leave them that safety net. Don't ruin the entire area for yourself and for everybody else. You've seen us do numerous episodes on water, and there are times that we will scout birds on water for 2, 3, 4 days. If we're unsure that it's a roost or a loaf, we're going to completely give ourselves 100% assurance that we're not going to walk in there of a morning and blow birds off that roost. So, rant over. Luckily, we had a plan B that day. The birds off the other roost that we hunted that morning that were going to that transition pond, they were hitting a field. It's a crapshoot. It's warm weather, 55, 60 degrees. It's a full moon. Yeah, they're feeding that night. They might not feed tomorrow. It's the only option we got. So we went in there and set up and hoped for the best.
Kill this one. Kill that one. Right up front, they come down quite a bit. Kill them.
It wound up being about as we expected. We killed a few, we worked a few, we saw a bunch going elsewhere. So we headed out towards elsewhere to see where exactly they were going, and they were scattered out all across the countryside. There was not a large concentration of birds anywhere. There were a few ducks on a whole bunch of ponds. So our best option was to pick a pond in the middle of that vicinity and just try to get into an area of a lot of ducks. In total, the pond that we hunted only had a few. We were just going to cross our fingers and try to wrap this one up as best we knew. There's two different avenues that lead to a hunt. you can have one that's planned, marked on the calendar, set in stone, weeks or even months in advance. If that's the case, you're going to be at the mercy of Mother Nature. Sometimes she's going to play nice, other times like this one, she's not. Or, you know, the other avenue you can have is you sit on your hands and you wait and you wait and you wait, and it looks right, and then you go. So you're stacking the odds in your favor, hoping that you're going at the right time. Unfortunately, we didn't have the opportunity on this hunt to do that. We had this hunt planned months in advance. We knew it was going to be a full moon. It just so happened to be warm weather. We had to make the best of it, and we had a plan going in, and we knew that if we found some water that wasn't a roost, you know, some transition water, sheet water, whatever it was, that was going to be our best odds, our best case scenario. That's what we did. It wasn't the greatest of 3 or 4 days of hunting, but in that situation, all you can do is do the best that you can.
How many geese do you want?
Oh, we're probably good there. That's funny.
You don't want to put them all out, Ryan?
Huh?
You don't want to put them all out?